Hey everyone, it's Brandon Bornancin, CEO and founder of Seamless Contacts. I hope you're doing phenomenal. Today I want to tell you a personal story about my background and a situation where I had to steal food to eat and what that taught me about sales. So, for those of you that don't know me, I'm a big fan of sales automation, and I'm highly invested in building sales automation technologies, strategies, and best practices to maximize your sales, maximize your income, and maximize your life. But before that, when I was growing up, I didn't have that same mentality. And I went to provide some context, I grew up in a place in Ohio called Westlake, Ohio. And then I went to Ohio University, a college here in Ohio. It's a phenomenal school, love it, great times. And when I was there at OU, I launched an online marketing company, an online software marketing company. And it did extremely well for a few years. And then the market started to shift, so I decided to take all of that money and launch a new second venture. And I did something very similar to like what Elon Musk did with Tesla and with SpaceX, where I just took, and his sale from PayPal. I took all the cash that I made, hundreds of thousands of dollars from all this cash that I made from running my own online software marketing company as a freshman, sophomore in college. And I took it all and I launched a mobile marketing software company. And as I built and launched this mobile marketing software company with a lot of really smart people, I was pouring all my cash into the business, and we just kept working on product development, hiring, office space, and we just kept spending cash to where to keep the 15 to 25 people that were working with me employed, and to pay the office space and to pay the bills on the technology and the computers and all that other jazz. We started running a red line. We started running in the red. And, we were running in the red because we couldn't sell. We couldn't sell fast enough. We didn't know how to sell. We were in college. We didn't really know exactly how to sell this mobile marketing software that we wanted to build and we're building. And, it came to a point where I was a junior and senior in college. This was during the financial crisis. So, there were a lot of tough times. My family was going through extreme tumultuous financial stresses where, these software companies were laying off tons of people. My father was one of those people that got laid off, so we had no money there. I've got tens of thousands of dollars a month in expenses running in this mobile marketing software company. And, there were days and weeks where I had no money, because all my money was into the company. I lived in a studio at OU, when at the end tenure of running this mobile software company. I lived in this studio, and all it had was a bed on the floor and a desk. And that was it. I had no plates, I had nothing, I had no furniture. It was a bed on the floor, a desk with my computer and monitors so that I could work on the software company. And then when I tried to spend as little time in that real shitty studio apartment as possible, and I would just mainly be at the office working. And, because I was so highly leveraged, I invested everything I ever had into this second company. It wasn't working out. And, there were points we were part of an incubator. And it's actually funny because a few of the executives that coached us, a part of this incubator at OU, are now part of our venture capital firm who invested in Seamless already. So it's great to kind of go full circle. But we're part of this incubator where we had a big office space at OU. And I remember being so hungry and so broke that I would have to go into the incubator fridge and grab food just to eat, or else I wouldn't eat. And that's how broke I was. And I remember stealing food from our incubator fridge just to eat because I was so damn broke. I was so over leveraged. I could barely stay above water. I could barely pay for gas, barely buy food, the whole nine. And I remember at that point where I'm like at absolute rock bottom. I'm miserable. I've been working 18, 20 hours a day to try to figure out how to make this mobile marketing software company work. I'm stealing food to eat. I had, my girlfriend was actually buying food for me as well. She's now my fiance, so I'm super grateful to be with her this long and how amazing she is. But, I had to, stealing that food, when you can't eat and you don't have enough money that you have to steal food to eat because you're so damn broke, that changes your mind. That changes your thought process. That changes your psychology. That changes who you are as an individual. And I remember sitting there at that time at the incubator, broke as hell. I remember I couldn't even pay my cell phone bill. I think my cell phone was getting shut down. And I'm like, how am I going to make sales calls for the software company? At that moment, I'm just like, I will never let this happen again. And I'm in this situation because we cannot sell this mobile marketing software company. And at that point in time, I said, from now on, I will never not know how to sell ever again. I will never be this broke ever again. I will never have to steal food ever again because I will work my ass off to master sales and sell an amazing product that changes people's lives. And, when you go through those tumultuous times of being broke, having to steal food to eat, going through those experiences, my biggest takeaway from that was I have to become a master at selling. I have to always, I have to know how to sell. I have to know how to prospect. I have to know how to probe. I have to know how to ask discovery questions. I have to really figure out what does the customer want? How can I deliver a solution that expands the customer's business, moves them forward? How do I need to know how to overcome sales objections. I need to know how to keep the funnel filled 24/7 every day. How do I add more prospects today than I did yesterday and tomorrow than I did the day before? And just keep the pipeline filled, keep pitching, keep closing, keep managing accounts, keep growing. And, having to steal food took me to where I'm at today, which is, from that point forward, was able to have a very successful sales career. Also was able to leverage Seamless contacts throughout my sales career to 10x my income, 10x my life, 10x my potential. And now I'm able to help people accomplish the exact same thing. And what that experience taught me was you have to, no matter your situation, be positive and work hard to master selling, to master filling the pipeline, to master prospecting, to master pitching, to master closing. If you cannot sell, you will be broke. If you cannot sell, you will be jobless. If you cannot sell, you will not go from where you're at today to where you need to go tomorrow to be uber successful. You need to sell. You need to prospect. I mean, we work with all these salespeople, and they're always bitching about why they're not closing deals or why they're not, living the life that they want to live, why they're not generating any commissions, why they're not hitting their quotas. And it's like, guys, it's pretty easy. We look at your pipeline. You're making 20 calls, 20 emails, 20 social touches a day. You're up against teams like mine who are doing 150, 200 a day because they know jamming on the pipeline every day of the week will eventually lead to a massive amount of closed deals. So the guy that's doing 20 to 25 today is up against a guy that's doing 150, 200, 250 calls, emails, social touches a day. Get in the mindset of, I need to master sales. I need to master prospecting. It's the 80-20 rule too. And also what I realized in that experience when I couldn't sell my mobile marketing software as much as we really needed to pay all the bills and to be uber successful, even though the company was acquired, we weren't prospecting enough. We weren't filling the pipeline enough. We weren't going after it enough. We weren't calling enough brands. We weren't calling enough advertisers, calling enough ad agencies that could use our mobile marketing software. And because we didn't know how to prospect, because we weren't filling the funnel with hundreds and thousands of prospects and new contacts to reach out to every day of the week, we ultimately, in my opinion, failed. And that was a big learning experience. So my biggest takeaways from that was, A, I'm going to master sales. B, I'm going to push myself to do more, bigger, better, faster, stronger than I did the day before every day of the week. If I called 50 people yesterday, how do I reach out to 60 today? If I emailed and social touched 100 people yesterday, how do I do 150 today? The third piece of advice, from that learning experience was always be filling the pipeline with qualified contacts. You need to be filling the pipeline with qualified sales prospects every day, every week, every month. Those little 5, 10, 15 deals in your pipeline, you're only probably going to close 20, 25, 30% of them, which means all the other opportunities are garbage. You need to keep filling the pipeline with qualified hot opportunities, contacts that you're going to reach out to and that you're going to pitch and you're going to close. Guaranteed. And then lastly, pitching and closing, I needed to master that. And the minute I realized that I obviously don't know what I need to know in sales to be successful, and that's why I'm broke, and that's why I'm stealing food, and that's why I'm screwed right now, was the minute that it changed my life. And I hope my experience of going through that, this information isn't public, it's not published anywhere. I wanted to personally share with you, no matter where you're at from the bottom, no matter what you're going through, you can turn yourself around and focus on the 80-20 rule, Pareto's law, when you're doing that. The biggest impact you can have on closing deals is prospecting and working on presenting business cases, delivering value, and closing. And I would say prospecting is 80% of it, because that's really all the opportunities that get filled into your pipeline, all the opportunities that lead to closed deals. You need to have qualified contacts. You need to be prospecting. You need to be reaching out to tons of people all the time. So, I hope you learn something that you can take away from my experience. I wanted to share with you because, it was a brutal thing that I went through, but, I leverage each of those learning experiences as opportunities to learn and grow. So I'll never forget that. And that's a big driver for why I work so hard to try to impact every one of your lives and deliver strategies and technologies and solutions to help you maximize your sales, maximize your income, maximize your life, so you never have to be in that situation that I was in. So you never have to go through what I went through. And, thank you for tuning in. I'd love to hear in the comments section below anything that you've gone through, like any hard experience that you've gone through and how you've been able to overcome that and become successful. Thank you for tuning in. Brandon Bornancin, CEO and founder at Seamless Contacts. Feel free to follow me on Twitter at bbornancin, on LinkedIn, Brandon Bornancin, or email me, brandon@seamlesscontacts.com. Thank you.